You will need a 4-inch basket bottom, a 3.5 millimeter hook to pull the yarn through the holes. And in this video, I'm using a 6 millimeter, but you can use anything between a 6 and an 8, and it will still work for this pattern. Scissors and a crochet needle. And you will need t-shirt yarn. And I will put a link in the description box to where I purchased this t-shirt yarn. I like to make my tail when I'm starting be about 10 times the width of the basket bottom. This is because I like to use the tail to close each row. But if you have another way that you like to close each round, you can do that, but I'm just going to show you how I do it. I'm using the smaller hook to pull the yarn through, and then using the other hook to make the stitch. So we're going to do a single crochet and another single crochet, and then an increase stitch, which is 2 single crochets in the same hole. And continue repeating that. Your last stitch should be an increase, and when you get to the last part of the stitch before you yarn over, if you're using the tail like I am, I drop the working yarn and pick up the tail and use that for my yarn over, pull through, and then I pull the tail all the way through. And then I bring it across over to the first stitch, and I put my hook in the back of the stitch and pull that tail through. And then bring it back across to the last stitch, and I put the hook up through that back bump area and into the center part of the stitch, and bring the tail over and pull it through. And now we will start with the round 1, and that is going to be a single crochet in the back loop only. So I go through the back loop and through the back bump. That back bump is what pulls the walls in and keeps that first row from having a gap. So this entire round is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch in the back loop only and the back bump. Be sure that you are picking back up your working yarn and you're keeping the tail out of the way so you're not crocheting this round with your tail. When you get to your last stitch, if you are using the tail to close your rounds, then you start with the working yarn, and then once you get to the point where you need to yarn over, go to the tail, use the tail to yarn over and pull through just like the previous round. Round 2 is also going to be a row of single crochets, but I'm going to go into the center V of the stitch and do a waistcoat single crochet, also called a flat single crochet. So round 2, single crochet in every stitch. Each time you close your round with a tail, make sure that you're pulling on your working yarn and your tail to make all of your stitches tighten up and look like all the ones next to them. And round 3 is going to be our spike stitches. So you insert your hook in the first row, pull your yarn through, yarn over and pull through. And so that is just a single crochet spike stitch. And spike stitches can go down as many rows as you want. So you'll see a lot of different patterns with spike stitches. Some they just go one. This one we're doing two. I've seen them go 3 and 4 rows below. So we're going to just do those single crochet spike stitches in every stitch all the way around. And I'm still going to use the tail to close the row. And round 4 is going to be slip stitches. So to do the slip stitches, we're just going to insert our hook below the 2 loops. Pull your yarn through and complete a slip stitch in every stitch in the round. And just as before, I will end this stitch with the tail to close it. This pattern is a 4-row repeat. So the first 2 rows are the single crochets. The 3rd row is the spike stitches and the 4th row is the slip stitch row. When you begin the round 1 after doing your slip stitch, make sure that you're inserting your hook into the 2 loops that are behind the slip stitch, so that the slip stitch will be on the outside front part of that single crochet row. You may notice when you're doing the single crochet rows that your basket may kind of turn in a little bit, but once you get the spike stitches and the slip stitch row, it's going to bump out a little bit more. So just remember that when you're going. Also, if you don't like the way it turns in a little bit, then you can use a bigger hook. This is a 6, but I have also done it with an 8, and I will show that at the end of the video, so you can see the difference in the 6 and the 8 hook. This is going to be my last row. Most of the 4-inch bottom baskets that I do, I usually do them about 6 inches because that makes a good candle holder or a good remote control holder. But I don't have enough yarn to go as far as I wanted on this one. I wanted it to be taller because I wanted it to be a vase for some flowers that I had. So I don't have enough yarn, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this one. And then I'm going to make another one with the 8mm hook and make it taller for my vase. So cut your yarn and weave in your tails with a crochet needle. So this one is done with the 6mm one, and I also went ahead and did one with an 8mm. So I will show you what that one looks like. So the 8mm is just going to make the interior walls a little bit wider. So if you have some type of a vase or something that you want to put inside here and it doesn't quite fit inside with the 6mm, then the 8mm will give you quite a bit more space on the inside. And here is the one I did with 8mm. I also made it taller. So you can see that it's quite a bit bulkier, but everything about the pattern is the same as far as the increased stitches and all of that. The rows, everything is the same. I just changed the hook and made it taller.